I'm Kira, welcome to my channel. Today's the very late flip through of my 2024 reading journal and my other types of media journal. I'll explain in a second. It is now mid-February 2025 and I just finished my 2024 reading journal because I kind of fell off mid-year last year on doing my scrapbook junk journal type pages for my favorite books and things. So I was playing catch up with that stuff. Everything else in the journal, all my stats and stuff were complete. They're done now. This is my 2024 reading journal. Fully complete, will not be touching this anymore. I did a flip through at the beginning of last year when this was completely empty and it was just the base structure of the pages, and then I did one at the end of June, I think, where it was like kind of a half mid-year flip through where it was half filled out. And also in that mid-year flip through I showed you this new journal, which is now my movie, TV, and music kind of scrapbook junk journal, because I was doing that in this journal but I started to run out of pages, so I switched to just having bookish junk journal pages and life event junk journal pages like concerts and stuff in this one, and anything else I wanted to do. So movie, TV, music is now in this one, and I'm carrying this one over to this year because it's not yet finished. And I'm not fully caught up on everything I watched and wanted to do a page for in 2024, but since it's carrying over into this year, I figured I'm not going to focus on finishing this completely for this video. This was the main priority because I'm not carrying this over. I'm starting a fresh new journal, which I did just post a few days ago, my 2025 journal flip through. If you want to check that out for this year, I do plan to do a mid-year flip through and a final flip through at the end of the year as well for that one. So we're going to go through this one first because it was my main journal for last year, and then at the end I will quickly go through this one. You can skip that if you don't really care about it, but I just want this for my own personal record just to see what it looked like at this point. And I know some people are interested, probably. I know I would be. So I'm going to flip the camera around, get the journal all set up and ready to flip through, and we're gonna look through it. Alright, here is the front of the journal. Closer look at the stickers. Hopefully you were able to see them decently. And then here's the back. Here is the title page. My theme throughout the whole journal is kind of disco balls and plans. I really only use these two colored grays and then green and blue accents. So I kept it very neutral for this year. This is the first book tracker page I have. This is just squares, and after I finished a book I would come in and color in the square that matched the number of book it was on my reading goal. For this one, this is a bookshelf that I created. Same kind of concept. Every time I finished a book I would come in here and color off a little book on the shelf and write the name of the book. At the beginning of the year I was writing the name of the book and the author, but it got a little squished, so about halfway through the year I just started writing only the book title. This is my book cover tracker. So again, when I finished a book, I would put the cover of it in the order that I read it. And I do have an extra page that I never got to because I didn't read as much as I was hoping I would last year, which is fine. This is my book log, so kind of like spreadsheet style. Have the book title, author, genre, what month I read it in, and my star rating. Grab this, and then a second page, which is not filled out very far. This was my series tracker to keep track of all the series I had started. The only one I hadn't started yet was Infernal Devices, but that's because I owned them and I was planning to read them that year, but I didn't. Also, I'm so sorry for the camera shadow. I don't know if I can fix that. I don't know if that's better or not. And then I have a second page for that. This page was a Shadowhunters reading order to help me keep track of it because I thought I was going to get a lot farther in the Shadowhunters universe than I did, where in reality I didn't read a single Shadowhunters book in 2024. So I did scrap this for my journal this year. That's my lamp, isn't it? That's not the camera. Then over here I have days I finished a book, so each square represents a day that I finished a book. And if there's a black dot in the middle, that means I finished more than one book on that same day. This spread I completely got rid of for this year because I never touched it really last year. Have my reading goals up here, my rating system, the arcs I got, which I stopped even applying for arcs March of last year, and I only read 2 of those, so I stopped applying for arcs and haven't since. And I have my DNF graveyard, which I did use, but I don't think I have all my DNFs in here from last year. I just never found myself coming back to this page, so I got rid of it. Here I have my release tracker, so I wrote down release dates for all the books that I was excited to read, and then once I did read them, I went in and highlighted them. 5-star reads, where I just put a picture of all my 5-star reads. Some were rereads, some were new reads, whatever was 5 stars, and I was over ambitious, I guess, on how many 5 stars I thought I would have, because I have a whole nother page that was not touched. This is the book bracket page. I did mess up on this one a little bit, so it looks a little funky. I accidentally wrote the months in these small boxes up here where I was supposed to write the book title, so the book titles are written on the edges. And my favorite book of the year was Love Unwritten by Lauren Asher, which is not a surprise. Kind of a similar page, but this is the book cover for each of my favorite books of each month throughout the year. Then we have my 24 books in 2024 list. I would say I do half? 12. I did do half, but 2 of them were DNFs. So I fully read 10 of them, and then I started to read 2 of them and knew I wasn't going to like them, so I DNF'd them. This one technically is a DNF because I am unhauling it because I just decided at the end of the year I'm never going to read it. Most of these I think I did put on my 25 books to read 2025 list as well, so hopefully they will get read this year. Something I did not do great on was reading my physical TBR. I have this entire list of what I started 2024 off with on my physical TBR, and I would highlight the book whenever I finished reading it. And there's 2 pages of that, and there's really not any. Let me count how many. I read 21 books off of my physical TBR that I started 2024 with, which means not including physical books I purchased as new releases in 2024 and immediately read them. These are books that I brought into the year with me, so really want to work on that this year. I have the Read the Rainbow Challenge, which is just book covers that match a color. The only one I didn't get to is brown. Then the Alphabet Challenge, which I completed about half of it. Then we have my book bingo. I love doing book bingo every year. So I have the prompt on this side, and I would color it in when I read a book that matched, and then I would put the corresponding cover of the book on this page because I like to see what I read for each prompt. And this is actually 5x6 squares instead of 5x5 squares, so it's not really a bingo, but I did get like this L shape all the way filled in, I guess, if you want to call that bingo. This year I did make it 5x5, I believe. Then I have my mid-year top 10. So at the end of June, this was my top 10 books of the year, and I have my end of the year list later on in the book. And this is my TV watch, so this was just like the most significant things I watched, I guess, or like my favorite things I rewatched or watched for the first time. And I kept track of all the movies I saw in theater because I have the Regal Unlimited Pass, and you need to watch at least 2 movies a month to make the price worth it. So I just wanted to make sure I was getting my money's worth of it. I went 2 movies over what I needed to, so that's great, even with not seeing a single movie in either June or December. 1, because I was sick all of June. 2, December I was busy or out of town all of December. Then I have a movie watch list, movies I wanted to watch. As you can see, I only watched 4 of them, and 3 of them were new releases, so I definitely still want to watch all of these, but I just didn't get to it last year, I guess. Now we are moving on to my monthly spreads. So each month I have a title page. This one I did for January was themed after Stranger Things. This page is the same for each monthly spread. So I have my TBR for the month, the books I actually read during the month, new releases, any books I DNF'd, books I purchased in that month. For a few months I have a social media tracker, but then I started not keeping track of it, so we're not going to talk about that really much. My reading stats, important dates, and then monthly highlights. This next page is also the same for each month. Movies watched, TV watched, and TV watched is I finished watching it that month. So like if I start watching a show in January, but I don't actually finish watching the last episode until like February or March, it doesn't get put in the book until February or March. Then at the end of each month, I went through my Stats FM app, I think it is, for Spotify, and put my top 10 most listened to songs of the month and my most listened to favorite album of the month. And then I just have the covers of all the books I read with the star ratings I gave it. And then each month I had 2 to 3 pages of scrapbook junk journal pages for any books or life events, and for the first half of the year, movies, music, TV that inspired me to make something for it. So that's what we're going to get into. This is the first one I did of the year for Scarlet by Marissa Meyer. This looks a lot different than the rest of the pages because it was the first one I did, and I hadn't figured out what I wanted to do for these pages yet. I'm really proud of this freehanded title for Scarlet and also Crest, which we'll see later on. Yeah, I still do like it. It used to be my least favorite page because it didn't match the others, but there have been a couple more that are now my least favorite pages, so I do appreciate how this page turned out. And then I did Snow Angel by Renee Rapp because I listened to that album for the first time in January and I was obsessed with it. It was on repeat for months, so I did a page for it. And this is where you can kind of see the style for the rest of the pages taking place. Here's February's title page. Most, if not all of these title pages, I took inspiration from Pinterest. Here is the first stats page for February. You can pause if you really want to read things. There's nothing important to really say on these 2 pages, so I'm not going to. Second page for February. Then we have Emails I Can't Send by Sabrina Carpenter, because I was listening to it a lot in February and it just gave like Valentine's aesthetic vibes. And this, to this day, is still one of my all-time favorite pages I've made in this style. Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. I do really like how this page came out. And then this is the first kind of like lifestyle page, I guess. We went to Vegas and we went to RuPaul's Drag Race Live, so I had to make a page for it. And then the Stranger Things store as well. Next is March. This I think is probably my favorite title page in this book. I just love it. Stats page. I guess this is kind of like a media page. We'll call it a media page. I finished watching Gilmore Girls for the first time in March, so I had to make a page for it. Swift and Saddled by Layla Sage. I love this page. This and Lost and Lassoed later in this book are some of my favorite pages of the book, I believe. I also love this page. It's very simple, but it's very fitting. This is for anyone but you. And it's literally just the lyrics to Unwritten by Natasha Bedingfield with some pictures. Next we have April. A very simple title page, but still very cute. Stats page and media page. Saw Challengers twice in theaters in April. I'm really happy with how this page came out too. Tortured Poets Department, the first page for it, because I didn't like this page after I did it, and I still really don't. So I redid it later on, you'll see. I have stickers from my vinyls in here. Turtles All the Way Down. This was another one of my favorite pages from the year. Turtles All the Way Down by John Green is one of my favorite books. And I did a reread before the movie came out, so I kind of combined movie and book things in this page. I love the little turtles holding up the world that I did. Here we have May. I absolutely despise this title page. I messed up, first of all, and I also don't like the colors I picked. Stats page. I only read 2 books this month, and one was a reread. Media page. Here we have Fall Guy. This might be my least favorite page. I just don't like the setup of this page. I don't love the color scheme. It just feels empty in this area, so I wish I set it up differently. Funny story, I am obsessed with this page. Here is the second Tortured Poets Department page I did, and I did this one because we went to a Taylor Swift night, which was mainly Tortured Poets themed at a club, and I do like this one a lot better. Photos from the photo booth that was there that we took, and then here I have my Tortured Poets Department, the anthology, ranking as of June 1st, because that's when I made this page. So if you'd like to pause and see what my ranking is, I don't think it really has changed much, so if you want to know. June's title page I really like as well. I'm not obsessed with it, but I think it is very cute. Stats page and media page. This is for Wild Love by Elsie Silver. And then Love Unwritten by Lauren Asher, my favorite book of the year. These pages are very similar in aesthetic. Then we have July. This is my birthday month. I turned 22, so I had to do a little Taylor Swift 22 theme for the title page. Here is the stats page and the media page. Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez. I really like the colors of this page, the red and yellow. Shadows Between Us by Trisha Levenseller. And then this was from my birthday. Me and my bestie went to a theme park that we used to go to when we were little that neither of us had been to in forever, and we really wanted to. So we went for my birthday. It was very fun, and then we went to dinner and I went book shopping. So I just have the whole day here. Okay, I lied. This might be my favorite. This and March are my favorite title pages. This is August. Stats page. As you can see, I no longer did the social media tracker because I just didn't care at that point, and I just didn't need to see it, so I didn't even bother filling it out for this month. Media page. Once Upon a Broken Heart by Stephanie Garber. I don't love this page. I just did this page last week, and I don't love how it came out. Play Along by Liz Tom Ford, another one of my favorites from the year. I think this was either my second or third favorite book of the year. Another atrocious title page. I hate the colors I picked for this. This is September. Stats page, again, I hadn't figured out what I wanted to replace this with, so I just kept writing social media tracker, but I didn't do it. Media page. Daydream by Hannah Grace. I feel like this one kind of looks a little empty as well. Then we have the Secret of Us tour, Gracie Abrams. For all the concerts I went to, I put the set list here, and I have both pictures from her Instagram post for that night, and then also my own pictures. I love the little phone I did here for Full Machine. And it was opening night, actually. Portland was opening night for this tour, so I wrote opening night. We have October. I did a little Mean Girls theme for October 3rd. Stats page. As you can see, this has now changed. This page is the exact same, but over here I now have a reading calendar. So basically I just color coordinated. Each book is a color and I just marked how long I read it for. Media page. I have this page for my fourth wing reread. I feel like it's a little empty up here as well, but these were all pages that I finished last week and I was just so over it. So I was like, I'm just going to do this fast. So they're not my best work, but I do like them. I love this page. This is for the Sweat Tour, Charlie XCX and Troye Sivan. I finally saw Troye Sivan live. Me and the bestie have been wanting to see him for 8 years now. So we finally saw him last year. And Charlie XCX too. Love her. So I have the set list. I have my wristband from the general admission floor. Butcher and Blackbird by Bryn Weaver. November title page went for kind of Gilmore Girls, Stars Hollow fall theme. Stats page. Again, this has changed a little bit from last month. This side, exact same. But now the reading calendar is bigger and I eliminated the monthly highlights. Now there's only important dates and reading stats down here. Media page. This one is more empty and depressing looking than I remember it being when I finished it last week, but this is Iron Flame. This was like my first time reading Iron Flame. I waited a whole year to read it for some reason. Shatter Me. I did the whole series because I finished reading the last 3 books in the series this year, so I just did the whole series. The Wingman by Stephanie Archer. This is so plain. I'm just now realizing. I wish I made the pictures a lot bigger because then it would fill up a lot of space. Live and we learn. Final title page for the months. We have December, stats page, and media page. Lost and Lassoed by Layla Sage. Again, I think I said earlier, this and Swift and Sour are some of my favorite pages in here. I just love the colors of this one, especially the orange and the yellow. And then I did some pages for my Disneyland trip that I took with my mom in December. So we have this first page, and then I did a little Dutch door. Just kind of outlined each day we were there and what we did, the big things I took pictures of because I didn't take a lot of pictures this trip. And now we go into some of the end of the year wrap up things. So I have my end of the year top 10 favorite books of the 70 that I read last year. And these are all 5 stars. Then over here I have a little Spotify wrapped section. So I included my minutes listened, my top songs and my top artists. Down here I have all the concerts I went to. I went to 6 concerts last year. And then I have my physical TBR that I purchased in 2024. I did a pretty good job of this. Here I kept track of all my rereads that I did, which actually did quite a few. I made another DNF graveyard, but I kind of gave up on it, so I didn't update my DNFs throughout the rest of the year. So this is empty. And then I had an extra page here, so I decided to do a little movie and TV show wrapped things. So like total movies read, total TV seasons watched, stuff like that, my favorites of each. And then the rest of the book is the rest of my scrapbook / junk journal spreads, because throughout the year I planned out my months at the beginning of the year before I actually went through and did everything for them. So I only left either 2 or 3 pages per month for junk journal spreads, and sometimes it wasn't enough, so I have the leftovers in the back of the book. Cress by Marissa Meyer. Again, I'm very proud of my free-handed title. Mean Girls, the movie musical. The Natural series by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, because I finished that this year. Bride by Ali Hazelwood, one of my top 10 reads of the year. Heartbreak High, season 2 came out, and so I did a rewatch of season 1 and then watch season 2. So I did kind of like a yearbook style with all their names on it, and then I updated the map for season 2. I don't love how the other 2 pages came out, like this page and this page with the quotes and pictures. So I think when season 3 comes out, I'll redo it and maybe just do an updated yearbook page and updated map page and keep it at that. I don't know. We'll see. Then we have Bridgerton Season 3 Part 1. Part 1 is important because they came out in 2 parts. What was it, 4 episodes each part? So this is just the first 4 episodes, which I absolutely loved. And then I didn't like Part 2 of Season 3, so I just did not feel motivated at all to do the other page. So I think I'm probably just going to go in and glue these 2 pages together. I just haven't done it yet. Carrie Soto's Back by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I did a reread to annotate for my bestie for her birthday, and so I did a journal page for it. This was for the All Time Low and Avril Lavigne concert I went to in May. So I have both of their set lists and then pictures I took as well as Instagram pictures from that show. And then the confetti that I brought back. Burnout by Rebecca Jinchak. The show Live on Tour Niall Horan from July. Again, set list, and then some of my own pictures, and then the ones he posted from that night as well, and then some other random ones. And then Olivia Rodrigo, Guts World Tour. My December Darling by Lauren Asher. Sabrina Carpenter, Short and Sweet Tour. We got 9 to 5 by Dolly Parton for our little surprise song, so I put that there. And then me and my bestie's Black Friday adventure to go get the Tortured Poets anthology vinyl at Target. We pulled an all-nighter, we did not sleep, so I just kind of cataloged our day, starting from 10 p.m. until like 9 a.m. And I have the Eras Tour book sticker right here, I don't think you can see it, and then the vinyl sticker as well. And then I did an Archer's Voice reread again to annotate for my bestie for Christmas this time, so I did my own little spread for it. And that is it for this book. So that was my 2024 reading and life journal spreads. Now I'm going to switch over to my movie, TV, and music journal and give you a little quick rundown of that. Alright, so here are the stickers on this one. My reading journal has all reading themed stickers, so this one has all movie, TV, and music themed stickers. And the back. This one doesn't have like an intro page, it just kind of starts. So first I actually set aside a bunch of pages for a Marvel Universe rewatch whenever I get to them. So I just have a page for like each thing I want to do. So nothing is really done in these first pages yet. I did watch the Captain America movies and Falcon and Winter Soldier last week to prepare for the new one. So those will be getting put in here soon. There's a lot. So all of this right here is all Marvel. The only thing in here right now is Deadpool and Wolverine. Some of these I only have the pictures and the titles in for because I just didn't have quotes ready to go. I still need to search for them. So some are fully finished and some are kind of half finished like this. They all do have their titles and stuff in them. They just need quotes and stuff added. Here is Arrow Season 1. I'm doing one page for each season. So I have a bunch of Dutch doors for seasons 1 through 8 here. So I only have the first season done. I have finished season 2. I have quotes ready to go for it. I just don't have pictures printed out yet. Page for Divergent. I rewatched the movie and reread the book, so all the pictures are from the movie and just random aesthetic things, and then the quotes are from the book. This double Sabrina page for Espresso and Please 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 music videos. Gracie Abrams' The Secret of Us album. Similar to the concert pages, for all of my album pages, I have the track list and I marked my 3 favorite songs. Honestly, now that I'm thinking about that, I didn't do it for the most recent album page I did. So I might have to see if there's a spot I can fit that in, or I just won't do it. I'll tell you when we get there. I'm obsessed with how this page came out too. All the yellow and the blue. Have A Good Girl's Guide to Murder for the TV show. So I have the TV show pictures, but I'm going to probably include the book quotes similar to what I did for Divergent. Twisters, again, no quotes yet. It Ends With Us, same thing. I have pictures from the movie, but probably will use book quotes. Me and the bestie watched HBO Just Add Water during the summer. It was like my 10th, 15th time watching it, but it was her first time watching it. And I added a little mermaid tail as a Dutch door, which I thought was fun. Short and Sweet by Sabrina Carpenter, album page, again, obsessed with this. I love doing album pages. I need to do more, but I just kind of did the new releases from last year at the moment. So track list, my 3 favorites. I have My Lady Jane, my hyperfixation from last year. Dutch door. This is an empty page. I don't know why I skipped it. I don't know what I was planning on doing it for, but I have an empty page. Next, we're going to go into my Teen Wolf pages. I did a full rewatch of the show. It's my favorite show in the entire world. I hadn't watched the whole thing for like a good 2-3 years. I would just rewatch my favorite seasons and stuff. So I did a full rewatch and I did at least 2 pages for each season and like half season in this book. So we'll go over them quickly because it's a lot. We have season 1. I did quite a few pages for season 1 because I liked it more than I remember enjoying season 1, and there was a lot to include for it. And I have season 2, half page. Season 3A. This, and I cut out this to be the Nematon. And then we have another half page because it was a very important season. And I love how this one came out. They have season 3B, my tied for my favorite season. And I love how this one came out with the fireflies and stuff. Season 4, half page. Season 5A, and half page. Season 5B, and then half page. Alright, this next one is my favorite page I think ever in any of my books I've done. This is for season 6A, the other season that is tied for my favorite season. And I did Styles' Jeep with the Remember I Love You in the windshield. And I am obsessed with it. I'm very proud of how it came out. And I have another half page for it. And then season 6B and the half page. And finally, we only have this one page for the movie. And then we have 911. This is halfway unfinished because I'm waiting for the second half of season 8 to air, and I will include quotes from that to fill it out. But that's what I have so far. And then we have 911 Lone Star, which just finished airing. These are both first time watches for me, so I need to go find some quotes for this. And then we have this album page, which I am obsessed with this album page. This is The Great Impersonator by Halsey. This is the one where I said I forgot to put the track list in here. I don't know if there's really a space for me to put it. I might put it up here and cover this, the end picture, because I don't love that picture, but we'll see what happens. Okay, I lied when I said everything had its title. I guess I didn't do these ones, but this is Step Up 4 Revolution, Step Up 5 after it, Step Up All In, and this is Gem and the Holograms movie. I think that's it. That is it for this book. So those were my flip throughs of my finished 2024 reading journal and my in process media journal, I guess. So thank you so much for watching this. I hope you enjoyed, got some inspo maybe for either this year or next year, and hopefully I will see you soon. I do have a lot of reading vlogs I want to film soon. The next one I am planning on filming, hopefully at the end of February and getting up early March, is going to be continuing series. I'm in the middle of part 2, so stay tuned for that. Thank you for watching, and hopefully I will see you again soon.